more often. We're recording now. We're going hot. We're going live. That way,
we're doing it live. We're doing it live.
That way our OnlyFans get added content. Yes, I am popping fresh from the shower, my OnlyFans. So here's your cheap thrill. I'm in a sports bra.
And I refuse to add a bikini top until you motherfuckers out there start donating to the GoFundMe.
It's just
and
because
we break
I'm lazy and we've got a lot to talk about. And oh my God, we got a lot to talk about. And I cannot get karaoke songs out of my head for whatever reason today. So if I suddenly burst into song, just deal with it. Or join in.
Fine. Let's see. Yes. Yes. No. Maybe. Jesus, where is it?
I've already been threatened with copyright enough. Don't put a song on. I got that one. No, 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 and you got the little record rip. Word rock.
I wish I had a bigger room so I could have my L8 set up. I have that sound effect on that I could just that record scratch and all that fucking fun jazz, but I can't.
I
don't have the room to set up.
I was singing suddenly American Pie at work. Everybody was cracking up laughing. And then of course I busted into a vinyl song out of hilarity because I got a hold of like a hat stand and I was positioning it like a microphone inappropriately. I will let you figure that out. Use your imagination.
That's right. Everything gets posted up to everybody. You get to see things on OnlyFans, then our Patreon, then you see everything on YouTube.
And then whenever I feel like posting.
As of right now, I'm probably even with what you already have posted up on your side.
Yeah, I know. I'm bad. We're gonna have some clips today. Oh, we're gonna have some clips. Oh, there will be clips. Oh God, I think I just created one. Did I? I don't know. What's trendy? I don't know. I'm so out of
it. Did I start something?
Yeah, probably. No, TikTok started it. You can get a lot of views for just like a couple-minute clip.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have to start posting a little bit more on TikTok, but it's like one of those things I don't have to. I'm not that motivated yet.
Yeah, I at first was like, this seems like a young person's game. I'm not a young person. I hate to admit that. I play one on TV and YouTube.
It's not that. It's just
and at the pub.
It's one of those aspects that you have to do it constantly to gain more and more viewers and more subscribers, and it's like I don't have that kind of fucking time. It's like bad enough I have
a scheme that's out there, like any number of energy drinks or vitamin supplements that don't have a crash factor.
Speaking of energy drinks, ladies and gentlemen,
is it Swift? Is it Mall? No.
Swift this time. We are, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. There might be an expose on this podcast.
They might be listening. They send me an email at least once a day.
I'm already partnered. I did it before. I was like, I wonder if let's see how many mofos we get partnered right now. See which one actually gives us money.
All I can say is drink W, consume W.
I'm gonna have
that'll be our shirt. Consume W.
This thing is gonna probably be loaded. If Showtime stickers, it's gonna have like W on one side, Swift on the other.
Just put above it. Don't wear the glasses. Consume W.
Wait a minute, I think
Did I say I'm a little wired today?
Have you? What energy drink have you been drinking today?
I think it's called Insomnia. Shit's powerful. I hear if you don't sleep for 3 days straight, you die. Let's find out.
The record's set at 11.
Oh God. Ugh. Now suddenly, I guess the guy from Fight Club didn't have it so bad.
Yeah, the record's 11 for staying up without any sleep, and I think by day 3 or 4 you start having micro sleep and you
Oh,
start
micro naps are the
hallucinating.
worst. You ever have micro naps? They're not fun. It's like reality and life blend together, and they're not reality. What am I talking about? What's the opposite of reality? Oh fuck, I'm lost.
Reality, what a concept.
Dreams and reality kind of merge, and you're not sure if what you saw you did see or didn't see, and yeah, it's a whole weird
Well,
rabbit hole. Don't do this, kids. It's not fun.
yeah, and right now we're going into full bore into summer and thus temperature changes, and therefore I'm sleeping weirdly now and having weird fucking dreams. Don't ask. I think I had one with Jack Black last night. I don't know where that fucking came from.
If he was singing to you about peaches, we have some other things we need to talk about later.
No, it's just that might have been doing a partner in crime thing. I have no clue.
You
But
show up with a Princess Peach crown on one. I totally understand. Oh God.
You know what? If he actually, it's like if I sing, it's like if I went up to him, it's like with a peach crown, and said, if I just started singing Cooper, would you start singing Peaches? Would you do it?
Peaches? Like the song? Millions of peaches?
Yeah, peaches,
Peaches for
peaches,
me?
peaches, peaches, peaches,
Peaches for
peaches,
free? Millions of
peaches
peaches? Peaches for me?
for free.
They
Koopa,
they
Koopa, Koopa.
they come in a can. They were put there by a man.
Minute.
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 What was that? Damn it! Who sang that song?
What?
Was it
Peaches in a
Presidents of the
can?
United States? Peaches from the '90s. It was on the radio constantly.
I don't know. I didn't listen to a lot of radio in the '90s, if at all.
I
The
could
only
never
time
listen
I
to that song again after eating a whole giant commissary can of peaches. I'm good.
the only time I
Don't do
listened,
drugs, kids.
the only
And
time
kids,
I
while you're on
ever
OnlyFans, please get your parents' credit card number and tip generously.
or send donations to our GoFundMe at use use the website linktr.ee/LCM podcast.
Buy W, drink
By
W,
W.
consume
Promo
W,
promo code
www.
LCM podcast for 10% off. But I think the only time I actually really listened to the radio was actually twice in my life. Mostly in the young days, at least when I woke up early in the morning for like school or week, like during the summer. My mom had Don Imus on
Oh,
when he
Don
was
Imus in the
funny and
morning.
back in the '80s when he was funny and doing all the skits and all that shit. I wish I still had those tapes, man. They were hysterical. But this is
I'm not
before
gonna
he became.
lie. I enjoy some irreverent humor. As long as we recognize that it's irreverent, it's okay.
Yeah, this is like I said, I don't have those tapes anymore. So, but a lot of it was. I remember when I was listening to it, it was funny. But yes, I'll say this: did Don Imus have problems later in life with what he said? Yes, I will acknowledge that.
Yes, we acknowledge
I
that.
wasn't.
But
I wasn't really a fan of Don Imus later in life, but in the '80s when he was doing the atypical shock humor and that sort of thing, and when you're the ages between maybe 5 and 8 and fart jokes and so on and so on, or it really funny. I love that type of humor. So another time I listened to any type of morning radio was when I used to go to community college and I had to take. We only had like one car, and I had to take my dad to work so I can use the car later. and that's the only time I listen to like morning radio. But after that, it was all through like podcasts and all that. Oh, Coast to Coast is doing. I could get this episodes through a podcast. Let's do that. So that way I don't stay up until like 2 a.m.
Drinking coffee and foul things and horrible, horrible, nasty things. Not Dubby.
We're not Dubby. We will be doing an expose, maybe. I have to get paid for first.
All right. Do not brush your teeth and immediately drink cinnamon whiskey. We have learned.
So we will be doing a
that's somebody's
in regards to these energy drinks that go beyond G Fuel and all that. And guess who's going to be? She says, guess who has 2 thumbs and will probably be the guinea pig in all this? This guy.
And guess who's getting samples and probably will mix them with alcohol?
This guy. You can't have coffee. You said that they might have coffee in them. So
yes, but the other one I know for a fact doesn't. So
which one? Swift?
Yeah, Swift. Because they had me at Rocket Pop, and I was like anything flavored Rocket Pop was like.
Well, they claim that they didn't have. I saw your post. That's why I applied, or I saw your comment. That's why I applied, and thus I applied. And so it was like it doesn't have coffee. So we might shenanigans at some point will.
I have an EpiPen, so it's all good. I have an EpiPen.
Shit's gonna go down on either OnlyFans, YouTube.
Okay. Phrasing. When you say go down and OnlyFans, people might get that wrong impression.
That's bad enough. Our discussion that we had last week was kind of limited to 18 and over on YouTube and all. I couldn't do anything about it, but not the main episode, but that little clip before.
The what
right
clip?
now, the little theory in regards to the Wraith.
Oh, okay. It's just like, because we mentioned certain phrases and words that regard a certain minority community.
Yeah, it's like, we never said any action or anything like that. We made references to a community and that was not in any way, shape, or form offensive.
Any time in the video, because I remember the last podcast, you'd said something and it was just funny, and I'm just sitting there.
Maybe that's why.
That might be it. I don't know. Is the AI that good? Is the AI that good now?
I don't know. We're gonna have a run test on YouTube when I try to post up like, that and
here's just 5 straight minutes of Sasha going. What? I'm brushing my teeth.
That gets clipped and put on my OnlyFans. Look what we snagged from Sasha's OnlyFans. Why doesn't it have the watermark? Don't ask. It was an Uncle Tony thing.
Don't ask, don't tell. Oh crap! Now we got the restriction on it.
That's military.
Yeah, that is. Don't ask, don't tell. Isn't that what they used to say for like abused people? Don't ask, don't tell. Do it again, I'll beat you with oranges.
California?
Look, we're not going to a Nintendo contest, okay? Just relax.
Side note, I think that movie and Over the Top are connected in some way.
Yeah, I could totally believe the one kid is his, Rocky's the child.
No. What's
the arm wrestling movie? Yeah, that's Rocky.
Yeah, no. I'm saying the one truck, Stallone's truck is in The Wizard.
Did we just accidentally come across your Lumser on board?
Lumser.
All right.
I have a separate. I have a separate thing for that.
All right, all right,
Unless
all
you
right, all
want
right,
to.
all right. So research for you now. You need to find more connective tissue between the two. That is your penance, my friend. And
What
you
for
must
Wizard
bear
and
it.
Over the Top? I already
Yes.
have that. It's the truck.
Yeah, but you gotta go deeper. You gotta go deeper, like Inception, man. You gotta even have the sound.
Hmm. I told you that's going to take a lot of work to do that type of setup, and I don't know if it translates well. I need a better computer. That will take maybe about 3 weeks
See,
when I
to
pay
me, it's never the research and shooting; it's the publishing and the editing. Research is cake.
editing on this show.
Editing.
When do I do editing? Let's see. The
Can't
whole
I just get an
aspect of
AI to
dramatic
do it
pause.
now? AI edit bot. And all
Hey,
of a sudden we turn
AI
our
edit bot.
we turn our podcast into like Oscar worthy material.
It's bad enough I get the scammers for $39.95. I could get you 5,000 more followers that violate terms and agreement of every single social media platform that you're a part of.
Don't mind me, I have the vapors.
You have the vapors.
I have the vapors.
It's fine enough.
Lord.
I have a water tax to pay, a rain tax to pay next month. Or
All
else
right,
I'll
Al
get you.
cannot hear that clip.
What?
I can do that voice too well. Lord, I have the vapors. He's got some sort of Southern Belle kink.
What you two do in your own bedrooms between you and Al, not me, man. And just, you, wait a minute. You, Al, and OnlyFans.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready for that. I don't think I'm ready for that. You know what I love about these bottles?
What?
They make me feel so big.
Did you get that from an actual ABC store, or did you get it from like 7-Eleven?
No, this is from an actual ABC store. It
Okay.
says whiskey on it. Whiskey, not just cinnamon. And that's the secret. Plus the percentage on the back that you can barely read.
I prefer my stuff to come in mason jars. Matter of fact, I got to get a hold of a few people. That costs $20, but still.
Put it on.
Put it on. It
Put it
puts the
on,
mask
Kim.
again, or put the
We're gonna
mask
get
again,
you.
or it gets the hose again.
We're gonna go to a convention. You're gonna wear the mask. I'm gonna put you in a little trunk, and then you get to pop out. Get him, Gimp. Pulp Fiction, everybody.
Wait. Hold on a sec. You think we could do at least one day for Force State next in August?
I'm not making any commitment just yet because
Darn.
I'm still doing Chaos
Okay.
in 2 weeks. We'll talk about that. We're getting it.
Yeah.
Everything's gradual.
Gradual.
You know what? I need to get a Fu Manchu mustache to do this properly, so I can look like
I don't have that kind of patience to do that type of thing.
No, they gotta have a glue on, don't they? We'll have to look it up later. There's gotta be a glue on Fu Manchu. Oh
I'm
God.
getting the goatee to do thoughtful.
And the algorithm is just gonna kill us. Let me get into character. Lion, grr, lemon. Lemon face, lion face.
Where's my marker? Put the H on my head.
Oh God, you never learn, do you?
You never learn, do you? Put it on the mask. See how long? Put an H on the mask. See how long it takes Sasha to notice.
That'd be hilarious. You get to be my rimmer, I'd be all about it. OnlyFans do not take that out of context.
Take it out of context. Take it out of context.
Song. You ready? I'm channeling my inner what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. Lumser, I'm bored. What plaything do you have for me today?
Something out of the SK system now. It's called. It's from the weird planet Earth yet again.
Oh, Jesus, the fucking Earthlings, man. Is it from
At least
Florida?
it's.
Please tell me it's Florida, because I love Florida. What's going on with Florida? Nothing this week?
I wish. It's
Soon,
something
soon.
coming out of the other land of oddity, known as California.
Oh, see, you got a whole other like land of oddity, like in between, because you got Louisiana, which is just weird because they eat mud bugs, and then you got Texas. There's a lot of people who, deny people like me, but they're awful up in my DMs for whatever reason. That's all I got to say about that. But anyways, tell me about California.
Well, as you know, summer conventions, what they call summer convention season, has begun.
Oh
And
no. Take it off,
as
take it
everything.
off, take
Take
it
it
off.
Woo!
Woo!
Well, in about 2 to 3 weeks, a little convention known as San Diego Comic-Con will be starting. I think it starts like July 17th and 18th, in around there. But there's an oddity happening at San Diego this year. And it comes from the source. Yes, all right. We are quoting a source.
Oh wow,
Variety.
we've done research.
Yes. The following, according to Variety, the following companies are not going to be there: Marvel, Netflix, Sony, HBO, Universal are all planning to skip San Diego.
SDCC?
Yes, and it's come to my attention that a lot of the panels, the schedules for the panels that should be released by now are blank.
All right, I'm gonna have to say it again. Lordy, I have the vapors.
And the panels being blank or nothing is scheduled, the major panels not being scanned, like there's no Marvel panel, that what would be considered probably the Hall H panels are all blank. Nothing scheduled for any. They're, from what I've seen, are all blank. I don't know how true
This
that is.
alone has me flabbergasted. Because, like, isn't SDCC like the biggest one?
Yeah, three. I want to say the three biggest are, or I'll say the used to be three biggest, but the two biggest are San Diego and New York. There is, I don't know if it's still going on. There's one in Toronto, which is huge upon huge because they're an anime con, they're a horror con, they're a comic con, they're a pop culture. They're like 15 cons all rolled into one. But the two biggest, I want to say, here in the States are San Diego and New York. And as you know, for the longest time, folks at home who are might be considered normies by the geek community.
We don't use the term normal around here simply because all that is a setting on the dryer, and that is just based on societal views. Fuck normal. Anyways.
But San Diego has been known to be a bunch of assholes to begin with, because you have the whole aspect of.
But hasn't like
Including
D23 like overtaken a lot of their business anyway?
I don't know. They
Like
might,
D23
but
has everything. You got Star Wars, you got Alien news coming out of D23. Fucking Alien.
But the thing is, San Diego is like you could be a library out of bumfuck Iowa that names yourself has an aspect of Comic Con. Oh, how dare you add Comic Con to your name? We own that, even though they themselves, San Diego, is a quote unquote nonprofit
Is it finally
organization.
biting them in the ass?
Not that, but I think a lot of these according to
Or here's my personal theory. I know this is all about your theory, and I hate to interrupt, but like I would love to see it normalize back to the way it was. Like back now, granted, you didn't get to experience it. Dear God, I wish I had a time machine. So I'm like, Lumser, come check this out. Here's freaking Romero signing bootleg copies of one of his movies that he made and just having a good time doing it and shaking people's hands. And it didn't cost us anything more than $3 to get in.
Yeah, I'm just glancing at the article, and it seems like the main reason why they're not showing up is the strikes that are going on and the potential strike that will be happening, meaning the writer strike going on still, and SAG probably going into a strike.
SAG's going to go. If the writers are into it, SAG's going to.
So, and with everything, that was the other article I kind of had pulled up to kind of depend. I didn't realize what was happening or dropping today until I saw your post earlier today. In regards to Stranger Things being pushed back, and what they were saying is that the folks behind it, because a lot of folks were saying the reason why Stranger Things was pushed back was because of the writer's strike and the looming String Actors Guild strike. It turns out that's part of it, and they're eating themselves. The shows itself is eating itself alive, because what's happening is, because it's Stranger Things, or at least the final season, is being pushed back to 2025. They haven't filmed anything yet. They haven't written anything yet. And in that article, that says that they don't start writing until maybe about a month before they start filming. And they won't start filming until early 2025. And at least with this article, some people are saying the other reason why they don't want to show up is that they don't want to answer any questions in regards to not just the writer's strike, not anything like that. There's that whole, like, Disney having all this, like, hey, we don't want to answer questions in regards to why we lost 4 million subscribers. We don't want to do this. There's a lot of folks that have these questions, and with possible superhero fatigue going on right now and all that, they don't want to answer these questions and show up.
It, and I hate to interject here, but I hate the term superhero fatigue. It's not fatigue. We're getting, oh God, I'm going to sound like one of those guys out of talking about locales again. One of those guys out of like California that's called like the something freaks. And this is all just cookie cutter, man, because that's what it is. Everything's cookie cutter. And to me, it's like, tell serious, enjoyable stories that happen to have a comic book wrapped around them. It's like, I think The Crow honestly could work in a modern setting if we honestly adapted the original comic book. I get that we couldn't do it with the original one from the 90s because, Brandon Lee died. But a serious, straightforward adaptation, yes, Crow Stairway to Heaven was more honest, but done right in a 2-hour period instead of stretch over a TV show, it would fucking work. And that's all I gotta say. Anyways, go on.
And one of the other folks that I
or argue with
tend to that made a passing remark in regards to this was saying that a lot of the non-geeks, like maybe you and I, are not really going to San Diego, or at least the geeks are going to San Diego and all that, big fans, but a lot of the folks that are not really into, they would just see, oh, I'm just going to see Spider-Man because my kid wants to go see Spider-Man, but they're not really interested in it. They're not really picking up the comic books, they're not picking up the additional stuff, or they're not heavily invested in the culture like the rest of us.
Oh my God, you know what I learned today?
And therefore,
and it totally blew my mind since you touched on Spider-Man. And we'll get to Spider-Man a little bit later on. But Hobie actually in the regular Marvel canon was the original Prowler prior to Miles' uncle. But in that one weird alternate universe, Hobie is the same guy who winds up getting bit by the radioactive spider instead of Spider-Man and becomes Spider-Punk. And learning that today just blew my mind. Anyways, go on.
And they're not really the ones going to it. And what I think what he was saying was that because the companies such as Disney or Marvel or Sony are realizing this, they're pulling themselves out, and thus it's. I won't say this. This is coming from my opinion. If it's true, and therefore give it another year or two or a few years, San Diego might be the next E3. Meaning it's going to go the way of the dodo, because E3 went the way of the dodo mainly because Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, and companies, no matter who it is, even consoles or game devs, don't have that. It's not 20 years ago. Nowadays, everything's just done online. And well, 20 years ago, everything, yes, it was done online, but everything was still a big in-house production. Nowadays, it saved money, especially with what happened 3 years ago with the pandemic. You don't have everything is just done online. It's, hey, let's just do this now, or let's, hey, we have this bunch of news to release now. Let's do it, let's do it in 2 weeks. Let's have another game showcase, or let's announce all this now. And so with everything, but because San Diego is not just gaming, it's more media with TV shows and movies, and with the writer strike and everybody pushing everything back because they're fearful of the writer strike and the actor strike. Why put out new stuff? Because of the whole writer strike. We don't want to pay people with the new stuff. Let's just do reruns and that whole jazz. So it's just go local, folks. If you have something equivalent of a 4-state Comic-Con, or I'm going to plug my own home, I'll say my old hometown out of Florida, Ocala Comic-Con. Go to places like them because they need support. They need the love just as much as the bigger stuff, and you get just as much, if not better, experience than you would going to the bigger places. The only difference is sometimes you'll get the bigger name people at the bigger events than you would at the smaller events. I'm not knocking Ken Hunt at all. I'm not knocking Dan Noakes. Just that you have the bigger opportunity to see a lot of the bigger names at the bigger stuff. I get that. I understand that. Even myself, if I have the money, I would go to a bigger event. Yeah, does that make me a hypocrite? Fuck yes. But I'm sure Sasha could understand that. But still,
we'll get into that. We'll get in that a little bit. I promise.
So, and I think if the next topic in regards to that, I probably have your back on that shit.
I know you do.
So
still. Anyway, yeah.
Anywho,
it's just weird to see. But anyhow, let's pause, dramatic pause for our show opening. For those of you who aren't watching on YouTube, haha. What tip, please?
And for those of you who are listening, you just heard the Futurama reference in there. So
yes, indeed.
I might pull out. Who knows? I might add a few things from Red Dwarf. I gotta check my archives. I might do some additional sewing. But either way,
ladies, he sews.
Yeah, that's how I shocked my ex one year. I'm like, I can sew. Bullshit. Sewed up, it's a little seam, and she's like, I'm getting a case of the vapors.
Oh my.
Oh my, I'm getting a case of the vapors.
All right, so I'm thinking of a good way to transition into this. I should be the
expert. Are you making a pun?
Yeah, literally. I'm like, I should be the expert at transitioning, but anyway. All right, I got it. Why does everything I love wind up being a fucking scam?
I'll bite. Why, Sasha?
Well, everybody, I've been very hype about Miss Blobfest. I promote the fuck out of it. You know how much money I make off of it? Not a dollar one. Because I love horror movies. I love retro. You can get me in a little 50s pinup dress. I will do that shit all day. And I'll do it for free. So this year and last year, I participated in Blobfest, aka the Colonial Theater, out of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania's Miss Blobfest Universe pageant. And I don't want anybody to think that this is one of these things where I'm just pissed because I didn't win. No, there was some good competition. We had very few, emphasis on this, very few public competitors, which gives you a pause when I phrase it that way, because this is a contest that not only says that it's for a public title, mind you, you get to be Miss Blobfest, you get to judge the contest for next year, and on top of that, you get to judge not only the costume contest during the year that you've won, you get special seating, blah 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 blah. Just it's nice, and it's a title, and it's of the horror and retro community, which right up my alley, because that's just how I roll. And I want to emphasize, I don't know if I've said it enough, but the word public. Did I say public enough? Did I make public pretty much broad and a big enough statement there, Lumser? Public, public, public.
As a matter of fact, I'll search my sound archives to see if I have the word public in there.
Yeah, public.
Public.
Public, not pubic, for my OnlyFans listeners, but public. But anyways, for the contest, they clearly let you know in the rules and regulations that, hey, anything that you submit, any photos that are taken, anything of that nature, not only is going to be used, be it video, photos, etc., during the event, as well as your pageant entry, it's going to be used to help advertise and promote future events in the theaters. All good and grand, because you're basically participating in a public event for a public title. Again, public, public, public. Why do I keep saying that word? Well, lo and behold, today, because I'm all about fair sportsman-like conduct, I knew for a fact I got the letter saying, hey, you're not a finalist this year, really great entry, blah, 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 which I get every year, and I'm used to it. That's fine. I'm sorry I don't sit in front of a camera bored stiff and, yeah, this is my life, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm not built that way. I've got to tell a story. When I make something, I tell a story. I involve you in the story. Even when we're podcasting, we're having fun, we're drinking.
Right.
But
we'll say this. To each their own, though. That to you to tell the story is your choice.
Right, but it's better than sitting in front of a camera going, this is my dog, and this is my life, and pity me. Pity me. Anyway, again, there was some good competitors this year. Like, you had Dr. Divine. Like, her stance, or their stance, I should say, I never really got the full logo on their pronouns or preferences. They're an actual doctor. So they weren't competing for Miss Blobfest or Mixed Blobfest. They were competing for Dr. Blobfest, which when I went through is the only person who ever went for Dr. Blobfest and tried to change the title. Then you had Jenny Kopcho. Very dramatic, has a very great stage presence, told a story. Amy Vampy from Dark Ride Dracula. Sorry, I got to plug these people because they're good competitors. They're great people. Amy Vampy, great video, has always great content. If you're not watching Dark Ride Dracula, you're fucking up. And then on top of that, you had, Miss Lisa Gary. She's a third-year competitor. This should have been her year. Losing to any one of those four would have been perfectly acceptable. But here's the problem. There was only 5 public contestants. Emphasis on that word. Public.
Public.
So I found out, because you know me, I sometimes like to put that little sleuthing magnifying glass up to my eye and go, let's look into
Hold on a sec. Folks, I will put, if you heard, the drinking game, I will add a little audio clip. I will do some editing. The drinking game will continue. To close in, Sasha in this. At the start of this, on the audio side, I have started a drinking game. Every time Sasha says the word public, take a drink.
So
continue.
There were 5 of us in the competition for this year that were
the public.
And the thing of it is that it's a public title. You know, you're going to be on stage, you're going to be presented the award, you're going to be there with other finalists, yada yada yada. So not only are you going to be on stage, you're going to be advertised on the website, everything else. So through my deductive reasoning and having a few inside bits of information, I knew that 4 of us at least confirmed that we got letters saying that, sorry, you're not a finalist, good luck. So 4 from 5 is 1, right? That's the last time I checked the math.
Right.
So I had assumed, I'm like, all right, it's Lisa's year. She's done this for 3 years straight. She's kicked ass. She's taken
besides yourself out of the equation, did the other 3 folks post up that they got the "you're not a finalist"?
Yes.
Okay,
and some
that's what I wanted to know.
Or another.
The other 3 people posted up.
They either commented on one of my posts because I was conjecturing theories, or
so they posted it,
or they had it on other sites, but only in different ways that you could find it.
So there were other public posts from the other competitors saying, "Hey, we got this message from Blobfest that we're not the winner, or we're not in the final running."
Now Jenny did get finalist. I will give credit where credit's due. They gave one of the public entries a finalist honorific, and I think that was just, let's throw them a bone so they shut up. So anyways, I posted to congratulate Lisa because she was the last one remaining. Amy had a Facebook post. Dr. Divine did a story on her Instagram where it basically confirmed they weren't getting Dr. Blobfest. Jenny, when I was saying, hey, Jenny's my bet for Miss Blobfest, if I had to choose between Jenny and, at the time, Dr. Levine, I was like, you know, Jenny definitely has my vote. And then Jenny pops up and says, interesting, this was on Instagram, but I got a letter saying I was a finalist, but I'm not a winner. And I'm like, And so I went ahead and posted, well, congratulations, Lisa, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, Twitter. I saw those posts on at least Facebook, then I saw it on Instagram.
Lisa responds to my Facebook post and says, no, I got a letter saying I was not a finalist too. So that's 5 of 5 public posts, people who posted for the Miss Blobfest competition, and that would leave 0. And I was kind of stumped. And then all of a sudden, hell, shocker.
So you had 5 people, maybe one of which said, I'm just a finalist, I'm not the winner.
Exactly. And everybody else said they weren't a winner. And so I'm sitting here
like, why would that one person say that they're a finalist but not a winner?
Oh, that
would cause.
They managed to get an email that had 3 attachments to it. Basically, her name and then the 3 other finalists. And then a Heidi was referenced as the winner. Now, if you do a quick YouTube search right now, quite sure Blobfest and Colonial Theaters trying to cover their ass right now and making sure Heidi makes her video public. But as of right now, you can't find it. It does not exist.
So let me just say this. As of Sasha's post earlier, Tuesday, June 27th, because it's 8 o'clock now. I would say it was maybe about noonish today.
Yep.
Tuesday, June 27th. None of Heidi's posts were public. Everything else was what Sasha made was public, and everything else, only that one person confirmed that she was at least a finalist.
And everybody else said they did not win.
Did not win. Or did not hit finalist status.
Or winner status. So
and 5 out of those 5 people, all 5 had public posts, whether it be on Instagram, and or Facebook, and the usual social media outlets, including TikTok. Correct?
Correct.
So,
Correct.
and go ahead.
But here's the funny thing. So I'm sitting here stumped, and I'm like, okay, well, clearly I need to do more research. So I did a search, and it was intriguing because earlier in the afternoon, I had did a search, and a Kate, or a cat with a K, Romulad, kind of like the sauce, REMOLDE with the enunciation at the end, popped up briefly. And then that account immediately disappeared. And what was weird was the original posting date said it was submitted the day after the updated, because keep in mind, they changed the deadline. Because initially the deadline was June 12th. You had to have all your entries in by June 12th. And
yeah, I remember you posting that and said they extended it like a week.
A week. So the day of the end of the deadline, they extended it a week, and I'm like, okay, that seems funny. Why would they wait till the day of?
Yeah, I agree with you that. Why would they? One, it sounds fishy, and to me, it's like, wait a minute, granted, you have 5. That tells me you expected more than 5, so therefore you either got a bunch of other emails in that said, hey, wait a minute, we want to enter, we're not ready yet, and you're scrambling to extend the deadline to, like, oh, that means somebody's to include them. That's, to me, that would have smelled fishy right off the bat.
Right off the bat. And I didn't question it, because I'm like, well, maybe they just didn't get enough entries, because when you have 5 people and you decide that you're going to have 4 finalists, I mean, everybody's a finalist, so how's that fair? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's what kind of tripped me up a little bit, because I'm like, wait, something here just ain't adding up. I'm adding 1 plus 2, and I'm getting 25, and I'm like, okay, the numbers here aren't jiving. What's up? And before I could research this any further, I get an Instagram message from the folks over at Blobfest in the Colonial Theater. And boy, oh boy, what a message. Like, it is the wrong thing to say to somebody like me. Because, again, I have been promoting the hell out of this event. I've been talking up my, competition. Even when I knew I wasn't winning, hey, here's the people that could possibly be it. Trying to give my predictions and stuff before they show up. Just kind of help, each other out. Because, we're all interested in the same things. Help a sister out kind of ideology. Somebody's crown tips over, you adjust it and fix it. You don't make fun of them. But here I'm getting a message telling me to cease and desist posting about Blobfest, that they kind of imply threatening me with copyright for the use of their logo, even though I'm using it to promote the business and things of that nature. And then say that, well, the winners that actually, aside from Jenny, the other 3 finalists, and the winner of Miss Blobfest, whomever this Heidi person, or they may be another finalist, but the winners and the other 3 finalists all came from, keep in mind, not public, but either private videos that were posted to YouTube or unlisted videos that came from YouTube. So
yeah, it would have to be unlisted. That way, meaning they are, in essence, yeah, they're private, but they're unlisted, meaning if I listed a video, I could send it to you. I could send it like, if let's take Mark Byrne needed a scene, and I want to, instead of, because the file is too damn long or too damn large, he needed a spot with a stream. I could film near where I'm at, stream there where I'm at, and say, here, Mark, this is what our stream looks like. This is how you could film it. Yes, there's a train station nearby.
Right. But in this type of right. But in this type of competition, that wouldn't make sense.
You'd want people to be public to promote what you're doing. And
so you have 3 things here that smell kind of funny. 1, you push back the deadline by a week on the day of the original deadline. 2, none of the public public posters have won anything aside from one person making finalists. You have a suspicious account by the name of Kate Romalade, however you say it, that shows up as posting the day after the deadline was up. Then the date suddenly changes on it, so it looks like it was before, because you can edit the date when you posted a YouTube video, and then it just vanished. And then finally, to make matters worse, you have them admitting that 3 of the finalists and the winner all came from basically private and unlisted videos. And then to make matters worse, most of the people in the past that have won this competition are locals of Phoenixville, PA, even though they say it's open to anyone, anywhere that can get to Phoenixville, but also are heavy donators to the theater. And as I go back and look over some of the competitors and some of the people that have placed, a lot of them you can't find videos for now. And it just smacks kind of odd. And as I did further research, if you go back to when Dr. Lobo was hosting this, there wasn't a problem. Then all of a sudden...
Don't you mean Mr. Lobo?
Mr. Lobo. And then suddenly Mr. Lobo drops out for whatever reason. His I guess, significant other partner, I'm not sure, I didn't ask for details, still does artwork for the competition and things of that nature. But he's pretty much kind of dipped off to the side of it. He might make an appearance. And it just seems like, why would a horror host leave this? And then they've got to recruit someone all the way out from Baltimore to take over. I mean, there's just a whole lot here that's not adding up. And then here's somebody that has been promoting, talking about this for free. And then you're going to come at me and threaten me with copyright?
That's the thing. I'm sure the other contestants, when they've done their videos, they've put up thumbnails with,
yes,
I can't speak for them. They put up thumbnails with the Blobfest logo on it.
Every last one.
They've probably had an end card with the Blobfest logo, or they posted up some sort of, when I do the title cards for the thumbnails for the clips, or when I promote, I use an app on either my phone, it's mostly my tablet, called Meme Generator. And I'm able to customize something for Instagram. If
right.
I talk about, when I've done to go something big, meaning someone who has the funds for trademark or a registered trademark, because from what I'm told, getting a registered trademark is $25 grand to do it.
Right.
And that is, on my end, talking about Dungeon in a Box, when I did the unboxings for my channel when I was a subscriber. I'll be happy to do them again. I take a picture of their box with my tablet, and I put up the logo, and it has Dungeon in a Box on it, and what it is, and I'll change it up. I haven't gotten a copyright strike or anything saying, hey, cease and desist in regards to this, because they know damn well it's free freaking promotion, whether I like their crap or not.
Right.
And what you're doing is they want you to post up, or a contestant, whether it's me, you, the bitch down the road, nothing against the other contestants. If they're watching this on one
they're
platform
all awesome.
or another, they're awesome people. I have no problems with these folks. I have no issues with Mr. Lobo or any, but it could be anybody that when they do a video, they have to mention you're a contestant. Your job is saying I am a contestant of Blobfest for Miss or Mix or Doctor, or if you're, let's say, even me, Mr. Blobfest, that if I'm able to get, that I want to do this, I'm a contestant for it. Therefore, I have to do my due diligence and promote your event in order for you to choose, not just choose me, but get the word out about your event. And to say, to pretty much quote, I'll probably delete this and add in Will Smith's version. Him, pretty much them saying, keep our name out of your fucking mouth,
Exactly.
in a way, says so damn much. Because you speculated on who the winner might be?
Exactly. Just for speculation. Even my post, if you read it verbatim, based on information that we have, barring any other last minute entries that we didn't see, it's all in the verbatim of everything I posted. And then for them to come at me like that?
We're copyright striking. No, it's, as I told you in our DM, that's what they can't do that. When you post something up critiquing or saying, hey, I'm a contestant for this, if it's open to the public, and if you're talking about like Blobfest, Colonial, we are reviewing, we are critiquing you. We are talking about your establishment. We have full right, VIA, copyright law, for fair use to use your images so people know exactly what the fuck we're talking about. I will extend my goal on GoFundMe to hire any copyright lawyer to get things done. I will contact, whether Sasha likes him or not, the quartering himself to raise an army of funds so I could go after Blobfest to do if they choose to try to do anything like that.
But again, this is the biggest takeaway. I don't care that I won or not. In fact, I told you before anything was announced, straight up and up, that I would prefer not to win so I can keep making content and having fun with this thing. And then I find out that not only all the work that I've been put in, but every other public contestant that put their name out there and physically put in the work, all of that gets ignored for something that could potentially be favoritism and an unfair advantage, because we as the public aren't getting to see those entries. I hate to say it, but every Blobfest I've attended, do you know how many times that they showed the finalist videos or that they showed the winner's video? And I've gone a couple of times. Not fucking once. And it just kind of makes you pause and wonder and go, we put in all this work and you draw a crowd and you get people hyped based on our entries and our promotions. And then we find out that you guys are only selecting people that are in or around Phoenixville that donate heavily to the theater, but yet they don't have a public video for anybody else to view to make commentary on it. And to me, I can kind of see, and I don't know if this is why Mr. Lobo dropped out, but I can see why Mr. Lobo doesn't do it anymore.
Let me put it like this. Though fans on your end might not know this, but folks that might be watching through my end of things will know. I'll say for last year excluded, I couldn't go due to funds, and I got right before it happened, I got fired from my 9 to 5. So it was just a combination of things. I didn't get a chance to go last year. And thankfully I didn't go because it turned out to be a shit show nonetheless. But prior to that, every year since our 2nd anniversary, we went, or at least on my end, the Long Coat Mafia podcast, the internet's most hated mafia-themed geek podcast, went to Otakon. And the history behind that is that prior to starting up the Electric Eye podcast, going on 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago, it was back in 2009, with Big Candy. I went to Otakon when it was in Baltimore. I did not feel welcome at that time as a casual fan of anime. I did not feel welcome. I was treated like crap. Folks I knew in the community that I was a part of who went as guests of the show, meaning folks I knew a big podcaster on the level, I would say Mick Manhattan, in regards to views and listens on a weekly basis. I knew him, and I mean that podcaster at the time, and the folks that he rolled with, and one of his members of his podcast went to Otakon as a major cosplay guest to do a panel, and she was treated like shit and everything else. But when I went back in 2017 with a press pass, I felt I was them extending a olive branch to the show to me, and I went with open mind, and all right, you're extending a olive branch, let's do this. Fast forward one pandemic and 4 years, 2017. I was starting to get red flags, like something's not right. I'm not being treated like everybody else. And I know some of you out there are going to say, oh, it's probably the name of the show. No. It wasn't the name of the show. It's the aspect. Guess, again, who has 2 thumbs and is not an anime podcaster? This motherfucker. The anime podcasters were treated better than me. I mean, like, way better. And what happened in 2021 is you've seen the little baggies with the dice and my business card in it. I took a selfie when I was sitting in that gaming hall saying, hey, for the next hour and a half, I'll be in the gaming hall and I'll be giving away free, these bags of dice. 20 minutes, not even 10 minutes go by, I get one of the volunteer staff comes up and says, the higher ups want you to stop. You're soliciting. I went, what? Yeah, there's a no soliciting policy. You're forcing people to listen to those who accept it. Except your little baggies with dice. You're forcing people to listen to your show. Meanwhile, throughout the whole building, there's other cards sitting out for people to take for anime podcasters and places that were willing to buy, that were not in the dealer's room, to buy Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And last year, folks were saying, yeah, it was great walking around the convention dealership floor with a big sign saying, I will step on you for $10. I'm like, those motherfuckers can do that all day, every day for the length of the con and not get thrown their asses out. Why? Because they're anime fans. Yet I'll do something similar. I get, hey, don't do that. Your badge is at risk. Talk about fucking hypocrites. I'm not going back, period. I'd rather go where I'm accepted. But I know it's not the same as you, but right. It's kind of me understanding where you're coming from in regards to that.
And that's the biggest takeaway. Like, if somebody would have came to me and said, hey, like, my run of money is, I was kind of torn between Amy Vampy, I love her to death, and Dr. Divine, because those two had a really original stance, and I could definitely see Jenny as kind of like a finalist or a runner-up, and I would have been perfectly fine for that. Hell, I would have been perfectly fine for the pity vote. In fact, I thought it was going to be the pity vote based on what I saw, because only Lisa had remained, and I'm like, well, maybe Lisa's the finalist. Maybe she's the one that won, because she has ran for 3 years in a row. And to me, it's like, look at those 3 years of work. I've only put in 2. 3 years of consecutive work, and knowing her, she'll probably run again next year. 3 years of work just to be beat out repeatedly by either somebody who's not putting any effort into it or have any love for the craft of horror or retro movies or anything of that nature, or for even making videos in general. But 3 years of getting beat out only to find out that you're being beaten out from even placing, from people who are soliciting unlisted videos. And to me, that's unfair. It just seems like
it is. I'm agreeing with you with that.
It leaves the room open, like, for favoritism, because we don't know if they're buddy. We don't know what's going on with the judges because we're not actually seeing those entries. And maybe there's a good reason for not seeing those entries, because even we'd have to go, wait, hold up, pause. And then it also leaves it open for unfair advantage. You know, we
even if it's somebody sitting in a chair saying, "Hi, I am John or Jane Doe," and I'm in the running. This is why I think I should be Miss Blobfest or Dr. Blobfest this year. Even though it's not telling a story or doesn't have production value, they're still putting that time in to do that.
Right, and
taking time out of their day. There's nothing wrong with that.
Because at the end of the day, you said that you're competing for a public title.
Not to mention,
title.
You are
Why be private about it? Why be unlisted? You're going to be on stage.
And for any organization that does something like that, then only saying later on, you know what? Fuck all these people that put in the hard work, depending on how you want to look at it, okay? Either through production value or putting all their either hard work, time, effort, and voice into this running to say, you know what? Fuck it. We'll do this thing and we're not going to show who it is. And we'll leave all the questions up for chance. So somebody that no one seen or anything like that, or know nothing about. None of their shit's public. Yet everybody else, we're gonna be getting. I know you probably have a couple of dozen views on your shit. Their stuff, probably
a couple of dozen.
But I don't know. I don't have your metrics on that stuff. So that's, if I'm too low in regards to it, I apologize.
Way low.
But depending on the platform or the audience size, I can't speak for the other contestants. It could be several thousand, if not more. Those folks are probably bringing advertisement to them with no pay, for the exception of the hopes of becoming a Blobfest representative in some way.
Exactly.
And not to acknowledge that, and not to even say, hey, we want to thank these, entrants, and say, have a clip of you, a clip of, the other 5 who promoted us for the past 2-3 months in regards to this.
Or like in Lisa's case, 3 years.
3 years. And it's not, we're just going to, not even acknowledge that shit for some mofo that no one really knows. Now, granted, there are folks on YouTube that are big on YouTube that probably you don't know, I don't know, and yet they have millions upon millions of followers. But still, who are these people? Other contestants would like to know, if it's some Jane, or let's use a neutral name, some Joe Blow out of Missouri that's willing to come to Blobfest. We want to know a little bit about Joe. Let them, find out who is this person in. Let the fans follow this person. Maybe if I'm a contestant myself in the running, maybe I want to know who this finalist is, so I can say, hey, congratulations, Joe, on being the finalist.
But here's the thing, and this is the thing that trips me up and hurts me the most about this. With an unlisted video, nobody else can see it except those judges and those people who make the decisions. How do we even know a video exists?
That's a valid point. We don't know. Are these folks, over the past, how long's Blogfest has been around for what? At least 20 years? If not longer?
It's longer than that. Because I think the first one was when I was still in high school. And God, I'm dating myself.
So let's say at least 20, at least for the time being, at least 20 plus years. That covers everything.
Right.
And even now with the age of TikTok, and there
23.
are some 23 years.
It'd be 24 this year.
So, and with the age of TikTok and big name, I mean, hundreds of millions of followers on fucking TikTok, big TikTokers are a thing, and it'd be nice. It would be a good way to, even Blobfest should have said, hey, our finalist is this YouTuber here and this TikToker here and this, Instagram person here and this Twitter person here, for an example. At least you could say, oh, look at these great people, that might have big follow. Maybe I could follow those folks. To not have any, so-called presence. I'm not saying these people don't, but as you stated, this is a public event. The public should know who the participants are.
When I made finalist last year, my biggest disappointment was because a lot of people came up to me and was like, hey, we saw your video. And that was simply because of me marketing it and pushing it. Wouldn't it have been so much cooler for people to go, whoa, we've just watched your entry along with the other two girls' entries and the winners. Yo, you got robbed. That'd be so much more meaningful than, oh yeah, we saw it because of your marketing and da 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 da. Because nobody else saw those entries except for those who looked for it and pushed to see it, and of course the judges and past year's winners. And to me, it's just like that's not cool. Like when I went to the stage show, because I've gone in past years, but when I went to the stage show, because being a participant, you start to observe things a little bit differently. 90% of that stage show is just some made up hokey bullshit to kind of fit whatever story or narrative they have for the festival that year. And then you have who won, and that's it. And to me, it's like, take 90% of that stuff away, maybe give it like 50%, kind of MST3K it, which is funny because the MST3K guys are going to be there this year. Maybe instead of that, take 50%, do skits in between each video and have fun with that, and then announce your winner. And you're going to have so much more stuff going on. But to me, it's like,
my question,
weird.
My question, I know you, it might be a stupid question, and I know that you spent a lot of money on this. Are you still, but I have to ask it, are you still going?
Oh, yeah. Because here's the thing. I have a very huge Dan Noakes attitude on this. I hate to say it. Despite all this bullshit this year, I'm competing next year. I'm competing the year after. I'm competing however long I have to until I get an acceptance letter, and then I'm going to send it back to you. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm the Princess of Darkness, baby. I don't need a crown to show who the fuck I am.
Let me put it like that. Say this. Let me tell you this. Pennsylvania, because it takes place in Pennsylvania, correct?
Correct.
Pennsylvania is not a first party state. Let me tell you that right here, right now. I know. It's not a and folks, if you don't know what that means, it means that like West Virginia is a first party state, which means if I'm at an event, I could have my phone on record and I can record any conversation as long as I'm a part of it. And one person knows that that device is recording or a recording is being done. And atypically, it's the person that's actually recording. Meaning if you, me, and George are sitting, or Al, or sitting around a diner talking, and I'm recording the conversation, it's fine and dandy as long as I know. But if I get up and go, and I don't say, hey, don't forget that's still recording, and I don't hit stop or pause, that conversation from that point on has to be deleted.
Oh, I know.
Because it's illegal. I'm just saying for the folks at home. But I take it, but since it's a public event and a lot of it takes place outside in the public, you are allowed to record because it's out within your rights to record. So And there's nothing that they can.
Again, the thing I want to stress, I am not mad here for not placing, because like I said, I even told you weeks back. I'm like, I hope I don't win. I want to keep competing. I want to keep making weird content and having fun with it, because what's the point of a journey? It's the journey, not what's at the end of it.
I think all in all in this, we're just addressing the fact that Blobfest pulled a dick move in regards to this.
And then they come at me like that. I'm like, who runs your social media? Because it's online, and you know what I do.
And by Joe, when I do the clips, I'm putting Blobfest in the title. Blobfest logo will be in the thumbnail. Blobfest will be in the tags.
I would put the Blobfest and Colonial Theater logo in there, because it's criticism right underneath.
It is
free use or fair use.
Fair use. And the thing is, if they try to do anything, I will take it up with YouTube. If anything, I'll contact Jeremy from the Quarterly and have him. It's like, hey, I'm tiny. I need to get the word out that somebody critiqued this organization in regards to it. They just the video. They want to take it down. They want to copyright strike me. They think it's a copyright issue in regards to this, what they're everything else. I need help. I only got, if you want to cover in your shows, up to you. I have nothing against Jeremy and the Quartering. There are times I disagree with him. You might disagree with him. I don't know if you caught his content before, but still, I'll say this on air. I might disagree with him, but
but here's the thing, and this is the biggest thing that I want to put out there, because a lot of people like to say, "Ooh, Sasha's an egomaniac. Ooh, Sasha's an asshole," and it's like, no, 90% of the time it's because I speak out when I damn well need to, and I'm more angry for people like Dr. Divine,
right?
Fucking yes, it was low budget, but you know what? We love low budget schlock. It's great,
right?
Amy,
cheese. We all love cheese unless you're lactose intolerant.
Amy just has a presence, and so does Jenny and Lisa. Oh my God, how can you do this 3 years in a row? And then to find this out, if she competes next year, mine. Me, I'm doing it because I'm a stubborn asshole. Because that's just how I roll. This is my white whale. I will go total Ahab. From hell's heart I stab at thee.
What if, how about this question? What if next year when you try to do this again, they don't just tell you no, they toss the copyright strike your way?
That's fine.
Or if they go down there.
Because I'll dispute it and I'll fight it. And I will go next year and the year after, and I will be that constant reminder.
What if they go after your YouTube?
Fuck it. I have everything backed up. I have other channels. Please go after my OnlyFans. And I hate to say it, I have no problem paying. Oh, you're going to go after the poor trans woman? Really? The poor single parent trans woman? Is that really the media presence you want to have?
I know some, the other clip will be up.
I can play the pity card too.
I'll play it's like, yeah, some people want to say, oh, Sasha's playing the victim. It's like, yeah, she only did, my excuse is like, yeah, she only did that because they forced her hand. They wanted to be real dicks. And you know what? She was playing fair, playing by the books, and they had to
want to fight dirty.
They wanted to be dirty and start saying, oh, even though she was a contestant, she's now doing things against copyright while she was a contestant and playing fair.
And I'll keep a paper trail of it all, because I hate to say it, there is no conversation. And I hate to say it to all the people who dick picked me online. No, I don't hate to say this. To all the people that dick picked me online, I screen grab. I keep everything.
And do you have a copy of the rules in regards to what can and cannot be used in regards to for contestants?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
I have everything. Even that Kate Remoulade video that was up, disappeared, The dates changed on it and then completely disappeared from YouTube. And to me, that's totally sus. Like, how does something go from being a day after the deadline to a day before the deadline? And it's like, and then it just vanishes from existence, erased from history.
From history.
No, or is it time? Erased.
From history.
And that's the thing, because I hate to say, because like I told them with my responses back to them, I'm like, you do know internet time machine's a thing, right? I can go back and see postings that were from months and weeks ago. I can see every time that you've changed and updated your rules and regulations to the contest.
And Internet Archive, it's just not Internet Time Machine. It's also, there's, I think, Internet Archive that people have also used with Twitter. They've
just because you delete it and you erase it doesn't mean if a lawsuit happens, somebody can still pull that up. Google still has access. All the other companies involved still have access.
And Blogfest, if your folks are watching this, keep talking about it. Keep talking about it. Keep talking about it.
Because we'll make everything public.
It's in public. Not to mention, Blogfest, guess what? There is such a thing called the Barbra Streisand effect. Look it up.
Oh, it's like,
honestly, look it up.
I literally, as soon as I got those messages, because you know me, because we've had our own issues, not amongst each other. We've been co-conspirators. Call it co-conspirators. Co-conspirators in many things. Need I say a certain Halloween event your way?
Yeah, when I was tossed underneath the bus in regards to that.
And what happened? As soon as I saw you were tossed under the bus, what was the first words out of my mouth? Kids glove on or kids glove off?
Yeah, and I said, I'm not a part of it. Have at it. I think that was roughly my words. Like, I'm not a part of this no more.
Yep, you're not responsible for my actions.
I'm not responsible.
Awesome.
And I think I also said the same thing when back 3 years ago, when the whole instance with a certain individual who got himself arrested again.
Whoa. Okay, I've got to do the math here about that. Somebody got arrested? Wait. Okay, let's save that because we can go back to that. I got a little bit of time tonight because I've got pep. I ain't going to sleep anytime soon. We'll go back to that. But here's the thing. You know, having known me for a while, that when it comes down to it, I'm more hurt for Jenny. First time running. I'm more hurt for Dr. Divine. Like, oh my God, I want to collab with you. You're above my pay grade, but still, I think we could be on the level. We could be cool. Let's hang out. Let's have a few drinks. Let's chat. Let's talk about parenting and life and how it sucks.
And that person that was doing it 3 times, 3 freaking times.
I want to hug her. It's fucking hormones.
3 times. And for them to go, you know what?
I'm hurt for them.
Instead of this, and
I'm hurt
from
the year I competed, from the years before I even competed, everybody else that got looked over because of a non-public, unlisted video that nobody else got to see except the judges.
I think that should be in the rules now. Every video has to be public for everybody to see. If you do not have a public video on Instagram, on either or all platforms,
should be on all platforms,
on
at least
Facebook,
3.
on at least 1, if not 3 platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube.
Has to be on YouTube. No matter what, it has to be on YouTube.
On YouTube. At least if you're doing anything over that, I know you need a certain amount of subscribers on TikTok to go past like 2 or 3 minutes. But still, if you want to do at least YouTube, that way you could go over 5 minutes if need be. If you want to do a full on skit like you did, and it has to be. And to say, well, no, they were private. No,
I did a two-parter because not only did I want to explain
if the contestants are not just contestants, but they're also advertising your event in the process of with their entries. Every entry has to be public. If it's not public by YouTube standards, meaning it's not copyright claim that it's being pulled, meaning
I don't want
to use an example.
I don't want to hear. Let's say, well, hold on. Let me throw this out here because I heard this excuse today. But everybody's different. Not everybody wants the spotlight or the stage. Not everybody's like us who wants to, compete and put themselves out there. Then don't compete in a fucking public event.
It's not. I'll look at it like this. I don't know about Miss Blobfest. To say something like that, on my end, granted, it's coming from a
where you have to be on stage. But
it's coming from a born male.
I've done commercials, yes, back when I was a baby, but still, like being on stage is scary because you got the eyes on you.
Hear my point. I'm attributing my closest comparison to Miss Blobfest or whatever title you want to put prior to Blobfest is the equivalent of doing a beauty pageant.
Yeah, Miss America.
You are a public figure, whether you're Miss or whatever, Miss Apple Blossom, Miss West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Miss America, Miss Europe, or whatever. You are a public official. You are on stage. This is a public competition. But no, you're being a part of the public. If this main thing is a public entry, this is not, go out, get a postcard, put your name and address saying, I want to be a contestant for this, and mailing it in. It's not that. This is a public entry where you're doing a video. Everything is supposed to be done for advertising for this event. And your video should be advertised at the event itself saying, hey, this is a finalist. And if you're that person, as an entry person, you're expecting that, and it doesn't happen because your video was, quote unquote, despite what the rules and conditions are, was private, quote unquote, then you should be, done, out. Whether was their video private or public? Private? No. But they're a big YouTuber or TikTok or Instagrammer. Does not matter. Their video was private. This is a public event. The entries have to be public. If that rule is not a part of the baseline rules, it should be.
Exactly. And here's the thing, and sorry if anybody who thinks I was distracted. I was actually posting a multi-part on Twitter with all of the screen grabs plus my video entry, because here's the thing that cracks me up, and you'll admit to this because you've seen the entire dialogue I had. I sent you everything,
right?
Until they started sending me canned responses, and I'm like, oh, I've done pissed somebody off. Oh, I've just proven my point. Thank you for the canned response. I posted all of that to Twitter, and I did it in like a 4 or 5 part Twitter feed with everything. And I basically was like, because here's the thing, and you'll admit to this, they kept complimenting me on my enthusiasm. Here's the thing with enthusiasm. I can use it for good, or I can use it to fuck up your day.
And to say, you're a very enthusiastic contestant. By the way, if you leave because if you don't mind me saying it, I think you mentioned what in essence what they said, to give a little bit more context. They're pretty much were telling you, because I've seen the post, you're a very enthusiastic contestant. And by the way, take your post down.
Yeah.
Or else we'll copyright your shit.
Yeah.
Then you're admitting that the contestants, what you were
not
allowing
only are you trying to silence me, you're trying to silence me. You're trying to use a very basic understanding of the law against me, and I understand that law.
It's not just that. It's like
a lot better.
It almost has that faint sniff
Sniff
odor
it.
of gaslighting.
Yeah. You're in the
You
wrong.
don't want to make your stuff public. Oh, maybe next year you should make your stuff private.
And that ain't happening. I'm not private. I'm a very public person. I'm out and about with who I am and what I do. And I feel Miss Blobfest should be too. And if they're private, you got to wonder why they're private.
Right. What do they have to hide? Who do they know?
Me, I'm like, find bad shit. I literally have been introducing to people, and they crack up laughing. Like, we had a new hire at work today. And I'm like, hi, I'm the trans woman the media warned you about. That was my immediate response. And they cracked up laughing.
Yeah, and there are times, I'm sure that there's been once or twice in the past I've told you, Sasha, you got to, step back. Just no, I get what you're doing.
You're like, let it fly.
But just dude, where's my,
First you were like, you need to breathe because I know you want to kill somebody.
No, the whole aspect was okay. Breathe. It was just me going, breathe. Okay, there's a lot to say.
Attack 3. Breathe.
It's like I don't need. But my aspect is like, let me grab a bucket with popcorn. I don't want to watch your shit go down. But
I'm curious what my shenanigans has gotten me thus far. Let's go into Facebook.
Like, wait a minute, I got a bag of chips right now. Let me open this up and see what goes down right now while Sasha attacks this,
I've got 3 notifications.
But let me guess. They reported your ass to Twitter.
I could care less. No, Twitter just went up because I had to do, you know how you can add a tweet to a tweet?
Yeah.
I had to do that 4 times because I wanted to say everything and include every screen grab that I had.
But it's that. And
of course, Al is messaging me like crazy, but I'm like, I'm on a podcast, and he's like, I'll give you hugs and cuddles on Thursday, I promise. He's like, yeah, something seems off with this. The real question is, why hide your fucking entry? And why only vote for people that are private and unlisted? And I'm like, As
someone who has, even though this is mainly Sasha's thing in regards to the podcast of darkness, and it is Sasha trying to help me overcome, the burnout and everything else on my end, and she's helping and being a great friend in regards to this, and she has several Predator videos to take care of and put up and everything else. Sasha, but
are you going to help me with them? Because I would love.
It's been how long?
Are you going to help me?
It's been maybe. It depends on what it is.
We got to start with pray.
You're asking an agnostic/atheist person to pray.
No, like pray, as in the movie Pray.
Oh, okay. I have to. I don't have access to Hulu anymore. Damn it. But that's the only thing. I might have to speak to Uncle Tony about that.
No, we can speak to we can speak to my sugar daddy. He has access to it, so it's all good.
But either way,
let OnlyFans wonder about that.
But yeah, I will help you in regards to if I have to record a clip or edit it on my end and send it your way or something like that. And
because see, my philosophy is I was stuck with, when it comes to Prey, yes, hashtag tangent, public.
Hashtag drinking game. Hashtag take a drink.
Hashtag public.
Shit.
Anyway.
Another door.
The problem with it is because one of my buddies, I don't know if you're familiar with Marissa or not. You get a chance, you can find her off my Facebook page, things of that nature. Really cool trans activist, awesome, does her own podcast. What the hell are the cis thinking? Which I think is hilarious. I've been on it a few times. But she forever has been much saying she's going to do a book on trans representation in media. And I'm like, honey, you're either going to do it or you're not. Me, I can go into video games, I can go into movies, blah, 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 blah. I've held off. I would honestly say, as terrible of a friend as it makes me sound, but I think 6, 7 years is long enough to hold off, right?
Right.
Because she ain't published shit. I love her to death. She's published a lot of really, really cool stuff. I don't want to piss her off because she's a big girl. She'll kick my ass. But you know what? I don't give a fuck. So I'm going to start looking into certain bits of media that are just straight out transphobic, but people refuse to look at them. Let's start with the big one that got us in trouble with the Halloween event, Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know how many people I piss off by just saying Rocky Horror is transphobic. And a lot of people go, no, no. But I'm like, the lead trans actress not only self-identifies as trans, but is played by a cis actor as a character who is both a murderess and rapist by deception. And you're trying to tell me it's not transphobic. And a lot of people go, what? And I'm like, clearly you weren't paying attention to the plot. I have been. I've recently started looking at more and more of this, you know? It's like Silence of the Lambs. Everybody goes, oh, Buffalo Bill. That's not transphobic representation. They say he's not trans in the movie. And I'm like, yes, but that's based on science from the late 80s to early 90s, which we're finding is very incorrect. And it was a movie that was actually protested by the LGBTQ community as a whole back when it was first released, but nobody wants to talk about it. Ace Ventura, same shit. And so I've been kind of focusing on that and writing it, and I'm like, how do I do this without pissing people off? And then I realized I'm going to piss people off no matter what, so I might as well just fucking do it and get it over with. So that's why Predator has been much maligned. That, and I really don't want to cover AVP, and I don't want to cover AVP alone because I know I'm going to dip into where AVP actually came from, and then you're going to see why everybody's so disappointed with AVP and AVP Requiem because the comic book was so good. Tell me, Lumser, you've read the comic book, the original comic book by Dark Horse Comics, before even Predator 2 came out.
I'll admit this. Did I read the AVP comic when it came out? No. I didn't know it existed. But I don't know how I got my hands on it. I don't remember how I got my hands on it.
Was I somehow involved? Because I think it would be.
No.
Wow, weird.
This was I was working for the distribution end of things for Kohl's at the time. So it was like, I want to say I just moved to Inwood, so 98, if not early 99. I got my hands on the original script for AVP.
Okay.
And
which one was it?
That's why I was like,
because there's 4 or 5 of them.
I think it was the one that might have been, since I've seen.
Let me ask you this way. The very first script dealt with, it was a very futuristic setting.
It was futuristic. It was on a jungle planet.
Oh, yeah, then that's not the one. There was a desert planet with rhinoceroses. That's the first one.
It might have been that one.
Supposedly based on the initial comic book, and the lead was a female Asian actress.
I think it might have been that. It's been a long time since I've read that script, or if I don't even know if I still have it buried somewhere.
Well, here's the thing, and I'll have to trade.
I remember them referencing a rhino. It might have been a rhino type creature part of it. It's been like over 20 years since I've seen, read it, had it in my hands. I was excited to have it. It's like, oh, I guess this means that Aliens versus Predator movie is going to come out. I can't wait to actually see it. And just to see that how it changed so much in regards to the movie. And I was like, well, it's still kind of cool, but it's nothing like I expected or how, from what I heard, the comic was going to be. You have to figure during the same time, again, this was like at the earliest, or at the latest, 1999. Even then, at that point, I was hearing rumors of Aliens versus Predator, Battle Angel Alita, and there was a bunch of movies on that list that I heard. Again, I don't remember how I got the list. It might have been through a survey, a website, or some rumor mill. And I was like, I can't wait to see these movies. I can't wait to see these movies. And a lot of those movies didn't come out until like 2010, and if not later. Battle Angel Alita didn't come out until like 2019.
Well, here's what I think is funny, and a lot of people don't realize this because a lot of people forget that the comics came out before Predator 2 even did. That's why they did the like skull in the background. And granted, yes, hashtag tangents, we're talking about Predator. Like when it comes to AVP, Predator, like before they did Predator 2, like you have to understand that Dark Horse Comics owned both the license to Alien versus Predator. And at the time, they were shopping Alien and Predator around separately to all the major comic book houses like Marvel, DC, etc. And nobody was biting because nobody wants to watch their character lose against the Alien or the Predator. Even though Dark Horse was like, no, you guys can kick its ass. We don't care. We want a good story. Everybody denied it. And they're like, well, what are we going to do with these two, with this property that we own? And then it occurred to them, and this was, I think his name was Richardson. I can't think of it off the top of my head, first name. But Richardson was like, wait a minute, we own both Predator and Alien, and both those properties are owned by 20th Century Fox. So they call up 20th Century Fox, and this, of course, is pre-Disney acquisition. And we're like, yo, totally strange and weird question. But since you guys own both the rights for Alien and Predator, and they're talking to the people who manage the rights, and are like, would you have a problem if we did a versus like comic book with those two guys? And the person on the phone was literally, we don't give a fuck. Who cares about comic books? Have fun. Go at it. And that became the biggest, most selling comic book event back in the early 80s than what you would believe. Here's this independent publisher pumping out this comic book that's outselling Marvel and DC in the late 80s. Because they took two properties that they had the rights to have a fight together. And that to me just amazes me that they had the audacity to call Fox, and Fox is like, fuck it, we don't care. Have fun. Imagine like, trying to do that today.
Writing, please.
What's that?
I've been like, can I have that in writing, please?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're like, fuck it, we don't care, just have fun. And they're like, because they were basically like, who the fuck gives a fuck about comic books? Now think about that back then, and think about that now.
Where everything has to be a franchise and comics and
yeah,
whatnot.
That's amazing. Like Mike, now I remember his first name. Mike Richardson should be a fucking millionaire. Like, because of him, they put that that alien skull in Predator 2. I refuse to call it xenomorph because xenomorph just means new life form. It doesn't have anything specialized to it. They haven't given a proper species name for the creature from Alien, and it's not, what's it called? Engineer. It's a space jockey. Fuck Ridley Scott. Anyways, so back on Blobfest. Oh, the tangents we go down.
That might be when I do the clip. I might just trim that down so everything fold it together like the end of a Mad magazine.
Yes. We just all add it together. But no, to me, it's like part of me wants to be disappointed, but the other part of me is kind of like, aha, I got the saga I wanted. I got my white whale. You know, as terrible as I can keep making videos, I can keep posting stuff. They can keep denying me until they're blue in the fucking face. I'm going to have fun with it and fuck them. And I'm going to keep speaking out. Please try to sue me. I'll spit on every little thing you send my way because it's not happening. I know my rights.
Hey, it's, you know where it also has been going up too. The more we talk about, you know where it's going to. It's going to go right on my YouTube channel too, as a clip too.
Yeah, whenever I get around to it on my YouTube channel, but and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, whenever I get around to it. But yeah, because I found out the other day I can post over 2.5 hours on Twitter now that I have a Twitter Blue. Everyone's like, "Oh, Twitter Blue bad. That means you are evil and like Trump." No, it just means I like to have longer videos and more views. Because right now, and just out of curiosity, and curiosity's sake, how many views have I had on my Miss Blobfest entry? Oh my God. As of right now, view counts, and keep in mind, this is a video that's less than 2 minutes long, has over 1,134 views. That is a lot of fucking views. Even if they only stick around for like the average watch time, and I can pull this up right now. The average watch time is 2 minutes. You know how long my video is? Would you like to take a guess?
2 minutes, 10 seconds.
1 minute, 50 seconds. That means everybody's sticking around until the fucking end. And so I did my due diligence. I think Blobfest kind of just needs to back the fuck off and realize who they're fucking with. I am not she with whom to fuck.
As much as I would like to be a verified member of Twitter and have that blue check mark myself, I don't have the funds for that sort of thing. So I'll be a lonely little peon like the rest of the motherfuckers on Twitter.
I'll figure something out, and then we'll all have.
Don't worry about me. But
hey, you're my brother, family.
So
you might not have the last name Monroe, but Clan Monroe stick together.
Don't make me add in that one clip I have snipped out. And that's from Vin Diesel himself.
Family.
Family.
I just want to see somebody take a Olive Garden commercial, and every time they mention family, somebody adds it in Vin Diesel. Family.
Family.
I would pay to see that commercial. In fact, Olive Garden, if you're listening now, I don't know why you're watching OnlyFans. Please give Vin Diesel under contract now while you can. Get it while the iron's hot, because you're not going to get it any cheaper after it piddles out.
You know what? You want to go with Olive Garden? I probably know one motherfucker that'll take up the reins. Wendy's, if you're listening to this, if you ever do a commercial and mention the word family, we want you to get Vin Diesel for it.
Speaking of Vin Diesel, since we touched...
because simply there when I don't know what the current stance is, but when the owner was still alive, he was pro-adoption, so therefore anybody could have been family. So why not?
Well, speaking of Vin Diesel, interesting fact, since we touched on Alien and Predator.
You know what?
Did you know that Pitch fucking Black by trying to think of his name on top of my head. Help with the Critters movie. Not Mick Garris, but the other person. But believe it or not, Pitch Black was actually originally pitched as a sequel to Aliens. It was supposed to be Alien 3. So anytime you watch Pitch Black, imagine it being the quote-unquote xenomorph. I hate using that term. We need a better word for the Black Death, aside from Black Death, because that was an actual thing. Oh my God, that sounds racist when you think about it. The Black Death. Irreverent humor. Irreverent humor. Remember that. Also, public.
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 Remember, this podcast is brought to you by public.
The letter
all
P.
Things that are public. The letter
public.
P.
For public and pubic and penis.
And the whole aspect, I'm sure if I don't want to go down that road. I could have went down the whole
rabbit hole.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure and all that thing, and Pee-wee's Playhouse. Every time Sasha says public, scream.
Oh, okay. So, just since we're talking about Blobfest, and just as a spoiler for some of the people, because it's another topic we're getting ready to launch into. But a spoiler for the next Princess of Darkness entry into Blobfest 2024. The opening you're going to feel very familiar with, because I'm going to want to do a very Into the Spider-Verse opening for my next video. Not a cross, but an into, because you know how it's all like, you know, where they do, oh shit, I'm trying to think of it. I had it on the tip of my tongue, Into the Spider-Verse. Let's go through this one more time. And then you go into the story and the backstory. And suffice to say, because we know how much I love Return of the Living Dead, so that's going to be referenced. Yes, and I'm going to take scenes from actually Return of the Living Dead to describe the containment by the U.S. government of the Blob. And that's going to come directly from Return of the Living Dead. Spoilers. If you never watched Return of the Living Dead, watch Return of the Living Dead. And at the ending, I get to quote one of my favorite endings of a movie, which is Army of Darkness.
I have the folks in it, but the names are drawing the blank. I think I know who you mean, but
for Return of the Living Dead?
Yeah, from Return of the Living Dead. That's three people.
But you know the two people when they go down in the basement and they hit on the drums. Oh, these are made by the United States Army Corps of Engineers. Yeah, that's how the Blob gets out in 2024. And then of course I get to do the non-director's cut ending of Evil Dead with Al, which he's already agreed to, and we get to film that at Blobfest. Of course, it ends with, I might not be Miss Blobfest, but I'm royalty in my own little way. Hell, the Princess of Darkness, baby.
So, let's see.
And honestly, I think with right fandoms, that'll work. Because we're still filming it. And I was like, why are you still filming it? Because I don't fucking care. Fuck them and their bullshit reasoning. Fuck it. Fuck it right in the ass. Like me on a Saturday night.
I just put up the questions like, who would you rather see Vin Diesel in an advert saying family, Olive Garden or Wendy's? And I actually tagged Vin Diesel, Wendy's, and Olive Garden in part of it.
If it happens, they owe you some commercial money.
If it's Wendy's, since there's one in walking distance for me, I'll just take Wendy's for life.
Just what? Burgers. Lots of burgers. The occasional salad. What is it? Zero Coke?
No, just that what came to mind was that the whole aspect of, sure, you want somebody wants to toss you salad, right? Don't they? But no, I'll just
we have fun.
We have fun. I'm just hoping it's Wendy's. Like, if it's Wendy's,
since I'm going to incorporate Spider-Verse into my next video, let's talk about what is it? The new one, Across the Spider-Verse. Now,
Across the Spider.
Before we get started, did you know there is many variations of that movie?
Yes, I was going to bring that up too. It's like, I'll say this: where
The
Sasha
DVD
saw this,
release had better be randomized, where you pop it in, and every time you watch it, a line read or two is different.
as that be the case, I would have to pick up the Blu-ray.
Pick up all my money.
Shut up and take my money. I'm gonna have to download that.
Sony, if you're
YouTube.
watching,
I'm gonna have to download that clip in regards to Futurama so I could get inserted for the audio side. Because me getting it on the digital side, it's not going to happen because of all the variants of it. But where Sasha watched it in theater you watched it with Alan.
It was just me and Al. We watched Transformers with me, Al, and Willow. So
I got kind of caught up. I managed to see from the intro credits to where I missed, and from pretty much everything beyond that.
But it's minor lines that are changed, and that's the thing, because you're not going to notice it unless you have repeat viewings.
So I watched thanks to Uncle Tony and his TikTok connections.
TikTok.
But hey,
Sony's waiting outside his doors. It's that whole raid meme where they come in and SWAT you. SWAT signs that say Sony across.
Then you're going to see something in regards to.
Please don't SWAT Chris like in real life. Unless you're Sony, then I will die laughing about it.
It's something like that, or it's like the Pinkertons. Yeah, it's like the Pinkertons attacked tiny YouTuber podcaster Martinsburg Madman outside his home. He fought back, and I hope it makes it in the article because I will use it. He fought back using a scythe.
I lost my scythe, but I can get it back. I will be
using a full-size scythe to defend my property.
One of the original Playmates versions of a scythe.
No, it's an actual farming scythe that I have, and I will put on my mask and go outside with that. Oh, you're from Sony. All right. Hold on a second. I have to put on a mask and I need to get something.
We watched it on TikTok.
We watched it live on TikTok.
I thought it was good for a 2.5 hour movie. I did not realize it was 2.5 hours. That is how good it is. Now, let me frame this. Because recently on Disney Plus, they put up Avatar 2, The Way of Water. I had to pee at least 3 times. 3. You know how many times I had to pee for Across the Spider-Verse? Not even fucking once. When that film was over, I don't care. We were in the inner city up above Harrisburg movie theater. I waited till the end, and I had to pee. And I'm quite sure the girl beside me was doing coke.
We're talking the beverage Coke, not the powdery.
Oh God, my nose itches. I don't know why.
Not the sugary aspects of things, but was there anything after credits in regards to it, or
no? It's a cliffhanger. That's what I thought was awesome, because they knew it was a cliffhanger. I went into it knowing it was a cliffhanger because when it was first advertised as Across to the Spider-Verse Part 1, I knew we were getting a Part 2. So no matter how it ended,
I like how they did it. I like the additional, from what I've seen. Granted, it was on half of this type of screen, but granted, when it comes available to rent, I'm going to try to rent it or own it physically, so I have a bigger screen to watch it on.
You have a
hopefully it's also.
PS4, you can watch it.
Yeah, I have a PS4. I'm talking, besides taking a desk game, I'll have a bigger screen to watch it on than.
You gotta have bigger.
this-
Bigger's always better.
That's not how a size of it that matters. It's the
It's the girth.
it's the girth. And I've heard 7 inches was pretty standard. But the whole aspect of it's nice. It was nice to see the kind of the Spider-Man meme with it. It's like, stop Spider-Man, and they're all pointing to everything. It's nice to see also that they didn't pick. I want to say this is one of the few times, or the Miles Morales version of Spider-Man differs than everything.
Yeah.
Because his storyline in regards to how he became Spider-Man is different than everybody else's. And that him learning how to be Spider-Man and his power set is, you don't really mind following his journey and him learning in this aspect because it's something different.
And for people who weren't paying attention, and this is the thing that got me, we actually got not one, but two MCU impacting revelations during the movie. First was the fact with the whole big fight with Da Vinci, the Vulture, where they bring up Doctor Strange and Spider-Man from No Way Home. But the second one was kind of glazed over. And if you weren't paying attention to Spider-Man Homecoming, which was the first MCU Spider-Man, I can't think of his first name because I always want to say Danny, but it ain't Danny. His last name's Glover. But he literally played Miles Morales' uncle getting webbed to a car in the beginning of Spider-Man Homecoming because they were questioning about the Vulture there and trying to figure out where they were getting their tech. And that version of the Prowler shows up in Across the Spider-Verse. And a lot of people won't realize that you get that Glover version of the MCU Prowler. And I hate to say it, if you haven't been paying attention, there's the deleted scene from Spider-Man No Way Home where Peter, after the spell is complete and he's moving into a new apartment, his neighbors happen to be Morales and speaking Spanish, and their kid's name is Miles.
Not to mention in this new Spider-Man movie, you have a crossover with the Venom,
yes,
the Venom verse. I didn't get a chance to see that prior with the initial run through because when I started watching it was from when Miles dropped off the cakes at the party. I missed like 10 or 15 minutes, and I finally got to see it. I think it was like yesterday, that 10 minutes of missing that little bit of intro where he's fighting the hole, and the hole is like peeking through different multiverses, including the Lego verse of.
Yes.
And
did you know that was animated by a 14-year-old?
I think I heard someplace that it was an interview that they saw when the creators were
a YouTuber
doing the movie.
And they didn't know they were 14.
I mean, no, the movie folks were doing it, and they saw this, a YouTube video of that someone did animating Spider-Man, and they got him to come in and do it, and they didn't realize it was like a 14-year-old or something like that.
And it was funny because both sides were questioning. The kid and the parents were like, is this really Sony? And Sony's like, is this for real? Really a 14-year-old kid?
And I think they get like Andrew, the amazing Spider-Man actor, to voice that Spider-Man.
Yes.
So,
and in fact, there's a lot of scenes from Amazing Spider-Man that we didn't get that showed up in that movie.
So it was very fun. I enjoyed it. Side note, folks, this was kind of like a lot. I know I heard a lot of questions when what was it? No Way Home was out. How did Venom know, the Sony Venom know that Peter Parker was Spider-Man? It's not the same universe. How do you know?
The symbiote's all
the
part,
symbiote.
like, yeah, the original symbiote is
It's the
like
aspect
actually a
that
weapon. Yeah.
the original symbiote, it's all a hive mind throughout the whole multiverse. That's how he himself knew who Peter Parker was.
Not only that,
So
but
that's
the original, and I can't think of his name. It's the Dark something or other. It was actually a sword that bonded with its user, and
yeah,
as a result, it spread across the multiverse.
And the original suit, for those,
Yes, I
think
read
this
comics.
was like I found this out through, I think, Comic Storian, that they were covering the Secret Wars. The reason why Venom was so insane
It's
is because the first Deadpool was the first wearer of the suit, and we all know how kind of insane Deadpool is. That
became canon later, but we still count it.
We will count it. But back to Across the Spider-Verse, it's going to be interesting how they take this, to see what someone.
I'm sorry, but his dad has to die.
I don't want to see that happen. It's just the fact that's how the narrative.
It's a canon event. It kind of has.
That's what they're calling it. Yet they said in the same movie, it's like, oh, your uncle had to die. That was a canon event. Granted, there could be more than one.
Here's the problem with that, and this is the only way they can get around it. This is the only way they can get around it. Because in the original Spider-Verse, which was an offshoot of, I want to say Ultimate Spider-Man, because like Ultimate Spider-Man died. The original Spider-Verse, it was his dad that died, and the Prowler kind of took up the mantle of training him and teaching him who to be. Because the Prowler initially went to jail, and then it got found out that, hey, you know, your brother's kid, your nephew is Spider-Man. And so he's like, yo, we got to do better. I can't do wrong by my brother's son. I just can't. I got to step up and be the right kind of uncle. And that's why I kind of like the game version of like the Spider-Verse, because you still have Peter Parker kind of side trading him, but you also have the Prowler in the Sony-verse training him to be Spider-Man. So it's kind of a trade-off. If he lost his uncle in his universe, clearly he's not going to lose his dad. But in the mainline Spider-Verse, where he's kind of stuck right now in the 42 Spider-Verse, that Spider-Verse is going to have to learn, hey, this is needed as a hero in this universe and not a villain.
The thing is with it is, like, what would have been the mainline canon with like Amazing Spider-Man and all that on the comic side, it's been shaken up so many goddamn times. I don't care if he blocks me or not. Fuck you, Scott, whatever the fuck your name is, and Dan Scott, Scott, whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah. Because he fucked up the Spider-Verse. Oh, he's now Peter Parker's a rich person now, and Doc Ock went into his brain, and this, that, and the other thing. And
don't get me wrong, like Superior Spider-Man was a good storyline, but I think they adapted it better in the Disney cartoon than what they ever did in the comic books. Because in the Disney cartoon, Doc Ock got his body back, but he decided, hey, here's what Peter's doing. Here's what I was trying to teach Peter. Why am I going against him when, because of what I did, this is how Peter is?
The whole ordeal, the reboot in regards to from Amazing to Superior, was the fact that it was whole. From what, if I remember correctly, Joe Quesada's meddling in his Yeah, that whole thing. Uh, because JMS was doing an awesome job with Amazing and John twice.
Well, my
Joe
Disney
Quesada
Plus
had
is working. Watch the Spider-Man series that's on D Plus that was originally on Disney XD. Watch that.
I'll pull it up. There's a few things I watch on Disney Plus for right now. So
Because there for a while, like Doc Ock takes over Spider-Man's body, and at first like, oh, this is cool, and then he realizes what Peter was doing. Because there's this
yeah,
one scene where he's like, wait, all this time, Peter could have killed me, but he was
yeah,
pulling his punches.
yeah. I heard about that because Doc Ock as Spider-Man pretty much behead by punching. I think it was like Scorpion or
Well,
somebody.
Disney XD doesn't go that far because I kind of give Doc Ock a love interest. And now that he's Peter Parker, he's kind of courting her. And what's funny is that she still recognizes him as Doc Ock.
But at least in the comic, he beat in fighting like the Scorpion or somebody, he decks the guy in the head and
Blows it right off.
using walls right off, and he's like, "Oh my god, Peter's been holding back this whole time because he could have killed all of us." So
yeah. And to me, I'm like, I think the Disney XD displays it much better because they kind of give him a level to go off of. Yes, he could go and murder a bunch of bad guys, but he knows his girlfriend's going to give him shit. And I think it kind of balances a lot better than just knocking somebody's block off and going, oh my God, I'm a serial killer, you know? But anyways, yes, Across the Spider-Verse, see it. Try to
so
see
many
it in different theaters so that you can see different versions, because the only way it's going to happen.
where now whether or not if I actually went to see it in Berkeley Theater would be a different version versus if I went to see it in Alamo or Regal.
From what everybody's
So,
told me, everywhere you go to see it, there's something that's slightly different.
so it doesn't matter if you went to like 3 different Regals, you'd see 3 different movies.
Yes, because everyone got shipped a different print to run.
So anyway, it for our sake of things, me seeing a Uncle Tony version of Across the Spider Verse,
You're
and
not going to
Sasha
see a
seeing
different
it,
version. Yeah.
it would have been 2 different movies anyhow. Just the quality of mine might have been a little bit different. It was nice to see. I won't say nice to see, but it was different to see Spider Punk, and in regards to it, the kind of the
Especially when you know he's actually supposed to be Prowler #1, but he just happened to get bitten by a radioactive spider instead. I didn't know that until recently.
The thing is, well, in part 2, because you had that kind of the last scene in the movie. Yeah, spoilers. It's you see the like Spider Ham. You see Nick Cage's Spider-Man version of Spider-Man. It's like, will Nick Cage come back to voice that version?
Oh yeah, he will. He's already in it.
Well, he's kind of a big geek as it is, but
it just makes you play. Whenever you play, I don't know if you've got a copy of it, but get a copy now because they've gone up in price. But Spider-Verse Across Dimensions, that was on PS3. And there's another one that deals with time travel where it's only you're playing as 2099 and regular Spider-Man, and they have kind of like shared hive mind. And then you have Across Dimensions where you're playing as regular Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, Spider-Noir, and 2099. So you're playing.
I'll have to check. One of these days, I'll have to take the back way to work at my 9 to 5 and swing by Panhandle Games to see how much it's going, if they have a copy and how much it's going for there. So
get it before they mark the price up.
They're pretty much standard with their prices.
Well, right now with the new movie out, prices have spiked. Because like as terrible as it sounds, I like to collect PSP UMD video movies. And I've noticed that prices have spiked on Spider-Man movies, Saw movies, things of that nature that were on PSP UMD.
I haven't seen them do that stuff in the past, so I doubt they will.
Well, I've been to a lot of different shops, and I collect the oddball dead media, which may be a segment later on. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've noticed prices spike on UMD movies. So if you have any movies that you want to contribute, eventually I'm going to PO box, and you can send them my way. Preferably with case and not loose, please. We don't like loosies unless they're cigarettes or marijuana.
I think the only time I sent Lucy's to Sasha's because I found an old stash of UMD stuff that I had.
You know, the PSP 1000 that you gave me is the only unit out of 5 that's still working, and I can't hook it up to my TV to watch it in full HD. It is the most frustrating thing, and I've been reading on wikis like, how can I wire this to run HD? And nobody will touch the 1000, but they'll touch the 2000, the 3000, and the street model. How to upgrade it to run on your HD TV, but they won't touch the 1000. I'm like, please, modders, tell me how to do this. Oh, well, you could just hack your, Sony Vita TV, and I'm like, no, I want to run the original media in the unit running to my TV. This ain't hard, but they're making it hard.
You are welcome.
It's been my new challenge, because I've even gone into forums, because you know how like some people will take a portable gaming system like Game Boy Advance and turn it into a console for the TV. Nobody has done that for the PSP, because they're all like, oh, Vita TV. And it's like, yeah, because you guys are so into Vita TV, you can't touch the thing for more than $400 or $500. Yes, I got lucky and got one for $20 back in the day when they were discontinued. But come on, I want to buy the media, put it in the drive, and watch it on my TV. This ain't hard. They're like, just get a PSP 2000. I'm like, no. I want you to take a PSP 1000, make the drive where I can pop any region desk in, and it will play on my TV.
Then what's the point of being a modding community if you don't want to mod something?
Yes. Do you know how many forums I had to look up how to wire it for a Bluetooth headset? Do not even get me started. It has been done. I had to use several backwards hackney ways to make the Bluetooth work, but the Bluetooth does work. But I am not buying 6 different drives just to watch all my multi-region UMD movies. That's not happening.
You will buy the Sith drives.
I have bought the UK drive.
You will buy the Sith drives. You will buy the Sith drives and love it because only the Sith deal with absolutes.
I have bought the UK drive. I have the US drive. If I gotta buy more, there's a problem.
Well, if you want to see the stuff from Alderaan, you have to buy the Sith drives.
Or, you can just tip more or donate or buy Dubby, consume Dubby.
If you don't want to consume, we do have a tip jar.
Yes. OnlyFans always has tips. let me just tip back and go, woo! Sports bra. It's fucking hot here, okay? Somebody buy me Central
I'm not wearing a sports bra.
So you say, but you got a band t-shirt on for all we know.
Hey, if you want to see me, what's underneath this shirt, you guys have to go to our GoFundMe campaign and make sure that goal is met and broken.
Yep. If he breaks it, I will break it. I will buy a bikini. I will skip whatever Al's requests are and buy that bikini.
It'll be a bikini top, but it'll be on. And it is not just one person, but you know what? I'll say this. If we break 1,000, it'll be the bikini top. If we want a sensible goal after that or an extreme goal after that?
If we not only break the 1,000 but get to 5,000, we're we're not just gonna do a regular bikini bottom. Oh no, we're going thong.
No, you can go a thong. I'm going to go the safe route. I will go on TikTok and do the bumblebee dance in the bikini top.
So he would deny the silver-haired god a thong to thong thong thong.
Yes.
Okay, you did get the reference, right? Did you see the trailer? Or
Which trailer?
Teaser? Okay, so what's his name? Anthony Mackie, who plays the new Captain America / Falcon. Last name's Mackie, I know that much. Marvel.
Yeah.
Was the Falcon.
Which, yeah.
Okay. So Anthony Mackie is in the new, coming soon to Peacock here in July, Twisted Metal TV show. Now Anthony Mackie's interesting as a lead character, but Sweet Tooth,
Yeah, I see that. I saw that
Samoa Joe, and he is voiced by, I can't think of the name of the voice actor, but oh my god, it is so good. Because
I gotta switch my PlayStation to watch Peacock, but I could. Oh wait.
Sweet Tooth literally busts out to the thong song, and Anthony Mackie is picking up the thong. I love it when the beat goes, It's a trailer worth watching. I am in it just for that, because
I'll go one better.
Joe bodies Mackie.
I'll put it like this: if we hit 5,000, if the GoFundMe hits 5,000, I will find a way to go to
Cancun, Mexico.
I'm sure he'll
spring break.
He will probably laugh his fucking ass off. I will find a way to go to Four State Harrisburg and add George's booth on camera.
We'll do the thong songs.
I will take off my shirt and go, "Hi, I'm at Four State Con in Harrisburg.
I'm a gamer and I'm in a bikini.
And I'm a gamer and I'm wearing a bikini. I'm the Martinsburg Madman and I'm a gamer and I'm wearing a bikini here at Four State Comic Con Harrisburg." And I'll take off the shirt and go thong, 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 thong. And I'll post it up.
And I will join in and I will show thong. And get probably kicked out of Comic Con.
You would. I'm just. George will probably laugh his ass off at the whole goddamn thing.
He'll probably join in the thing and the thong.
Especially if
especially if the beat goes, no.
And I'll probably do the whole thing with the mask on too.
I got the laugh calls from that. Damn.
So
make it happen.
Like I said,
donate. Drop some tips.
Is Across the Spider-Verse. I know it seemed like a quick review for Across the Spider-Verse, but it's good. I did enjoy it. It's good. Watch it.
The best review I can give is it was 2.5 hours and I didn't have to pee until the end.
Neither did I, and I'll say this: my recommendation is, yes, the cliffhanger ending can be a disappointment, but watch it on a big screen, not a little screen like I did, because you're going to miss out on a lot of Easter eggs and all that, besides the ones that are blatantly visible, because there is going to be a lot. Yep,
it's a great movie. Check it out.
I'll say it's at least a 7 out of 10.
Yep. I like it. I'm curious about the next one. If you get bored with that, go watch Rise of the Beast. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
So, I know,
but as I say, robots and me kind of have a thing.
You like mechanical things, don't you?
I love sludge. But you know what? I really need a Grimlock. I really need Studio Series 86 Grimlock. With that $150 price tag for resale, no, fuck that.
I think I still have my OG Transformers somewhere.
Yeah, but I like the new ones because movie accurate. Though I want what was it? Was it Ironhide that got shot first, or was it Brawn? I want Brawn with explodable chest.
Staying away from that one.
Decepticons die, Autobot. Because Megatron's still OG.
He might not be OG. I will say this: Galvatron's OG.
Especially that whole scene where he's all like, "Come out, Autobot. We all have to die sometime," and I'm just like, yeah. Transformers the movie 86. Fuck anything else that's out there. It's good. Yes, Prime dies, but you know what? It's within the first 30 minutes. She'll get over it pretty quick. Even though Springer and Cup should have been our main lines, and Grimlock. Me no bozo, me king.
Lots of great lines in that. Also sent a lot of kids to therapy.
Cup tell more war stories. I love Cup's war stories. That's great. You're living one now.
No.
Yes, we're old and deal with it.
And some of the.
So, anyways, how do we want to wrap up? Wrap it up.
What's it? Wrap it up. We need a Snickers now. How should we wrap things up?
Consume, Dubby. Drink, Dubby. Obey, Dubby.
Drink Swift.
Consume more.
Consume more. Seen that? So advertisement that's for 2.
Maw is like the worst because you have this big giant creepy ant head with its like mini tendrilled mouth. It's like, dear God.
Like if they were sponsoring this, at least I could do the whole.
I can see it now. Drink like Cthulhu, experience cosmic horror. Oh shit, we need to copyright that.
If it was like the mall with the alien hand thing, it was like alien. I'd be like alien. Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? See who gets that.
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
You okay, Annie? The whole alien ant farm version.
Indeed. So plug your plugs.
I'll plug my plugs. Well, here's one.
What's? Oh, okay.
It's a plug.
Yeah. No, you got that coffee person. Plug your coffee person.
Oh, if you're in the, I would have to give you their website. I don't know the website offhand, but I'm sure you could Google them. Black Dog Coffee here in Charlestown, West Virginia.
Allergic, so I'm just experiencing secondhand.
So they roast their own coffee. They are a independent brewery. They sell full bean and ground stuff, various different roasts. They are starting to get into, I think, cold brew. If you are into that, I think they might have their own teas as well. And they do, I think she did say they are willing to ship across. So they might have a website. I'm sure they do. I know they have a Facebook presence.
Links at the end.
Black Dog Coffee. What?
Links at the end.
Links at the end. She's a wonderful person. Support local, buy local. Heck, when Tim Pool said,
she loves freaks like us.
And he was like, well, because it was a culture war thing in regards to what Starbucks was doing and folks boycott, wanting to strike, in regards to Starbucks. It's like I would walk across the picket lines and shop Starbucks. I'm like, Tim, I respect you, but fuck you, fuck Starbucks. I'm drinking Black Dog or Daily Grind coffee because they both supported the show many times in the past in one way or another. Fuck Starbucks. That's not a statement from Daily Grind here in Martinsburg or Black Dog Coffee Artist. That's just this podcaster's opinion. But Black Dog Coffee is a wonderful thing. They helped me out many times in the past in various ways. They are our official, unofficial sponsor, non-sponsor. So shop local, hashtag shop local. All our links for our show are linktr.ee/LCM podcast, which will lead you to our GoFundMe link, our podcast links, our YouTube link. Please hit the subscribe button because even though we have, at least on my end, the GoFundMe, the W stuff, which our coupon code for that is LCM podcast, plus our Patreon, which is, I think, the Long Coat Mafia. All links are there. We understand times are tough for a lot of folks. We're not one of these, at least I'm not the asshole that's going to say, if you're an asshole, we provide free content. We understand that. Me and Sasha understand that. If you don't have the funds, liking, subscribing, listening, watching helps
just
us
getting
out.
the word out makes you awesome.
Getting the word out makes you awesome. And if you want to toss a couple of bucks our way, it's why my Patreon's $3. It's why the GoFundMe is there. If you want to toss $1 or $2 that way,
it's why the OnlyFans is less than $5 and sometimes even less than that when I'm offering promotions.
Right. We understand times are tough, but sharing and all that counts. And those that have watched the videos on YouTube, listened to everything on through your favorite outlets and shared is wonderful. We are on the Atypical mainline audio side, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all our shows are always on Podbean. To search for the Long Coat Mafia Podcast. Our main website is the Long Coat Mafia Podcast.podbean.com. Our email on my side is longcoatmafia@gmail.com. So if you have any questions, comments, smart remarks, we'll answer them on show. And depending on the smart remark, we will make fun of you on the show in a fun way. So we do have polls and all that up too. And I do have on Patreon, you'll see the full episode, this raw episode prior to it hitting YouTube via a link, because Patreon has this limit. I'm not worried about the limit. I'll just post the link up either way. You will still have, besides our Patreon, you'll see linked videos before they become official on YouTube, polls, discussions, or whatever I choose to put up, maybe photos before I put them up on Instagram and Facebook, or behind the scenes shit. I'll figure something out.
Yep.
We'll treat you special. And plus, on the audio side of things, in regards to Patreon, if your name is Joe Blow 58, or whatever your username is, we'll, on the audio side, we'll give you thanks that way as well. Meaning, not just thank you, all our Patreons on, who subbed up, we'll mention you by name on that side.
Or hell, even if whenever we're posted anywhere, you give us an interesting or weird comment, we will definitely mention you in the next episode.
Yeah.
Please don't go overboard. I have seen enough dick pics in my life to fill 20 lifetimes.
Yes, I think I'll send them to at least on Sasha, because you stream, at least do this through your desktop.
Desktop, my phone, depending on wherever I'm at the time.
But for the most part, you do it through your desktop, right?
No, for the most part, because I'm usually at work, because work consumes.
No, I mean, when we do the show itself.
Yeah, that's usually on the desktop. I ain't using phone for that.
The only reason why I'm currently using the phone on my end is because my current laptop is a piece of shit. Until I get the newest one in a couple of weeks, that's when things will get transferred over and we'll be able to go that way. But until then, if we get anything interesting that is sensible and can be broadcast on other platforms, I'll send them to Sasha, and we could. I know Zoom can be. You could do a share your screen aspect, and we'll, like, if it's a photograph,
if I
or
can figure it out.
we'll figure it out at some point. In regards to everything,
we'll figure it out. Even we got to post edit it. Granted, yes, it involves editing, our favorite thing, but AI is coming so far. In the meantime, stay tuned to me. Obviously, you can find me Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Just search for Sasha the Princess of Darkness. You're gonna find me. It's an easy enough thing to remember. I'm gonna be covering Blobfest as much shit as we talked, and it's not shit, it's facts. You want to see those facts again? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Etc. Sasha the Princess of Darkness. It's all there in black and white from the horse's mouth, because they had the stupidity to Instagram DM me. Oh, they don't think I know what screen grab is, but I know what screen grab is. Anyways, yeah, keep posted, and otherwise just stay tuned. And if you got a few extra bucks, hop on the OnlyFans. Yeah, there's some more salacious posts. But if you want to keep this unedited format and watch things of that nature, hop over to OnlyFans. Only way you're gonna get it.
Either when you remember, folks, when you subscribe to Sasha on OnlyFans, or you go through Patreon, or GoFundMe on my end, funds do go to help the show and everything else. Don't think we're just pocketing the money and running.
No.
At least if you folks think, hey, that's what you're gonna do, I will be more than happy to post receipts when everything is. We do buy something in bulk.
We do go to events, we do check out things, and trust me, Blobfest, because I spent a ton of money, and Al's got a tux. If you don't think I'm filming and taking pictures all weekend long, and there's stuff that's going to be posted all weekend long, you're full of shit.
Yeah, and good chance when, depending on how Sasha feels that few days, because we all know how con crud is in regards to, or event crud.
I've learned a secret to that. Don't
more alcohol.
Yep, just call them fumes.
But depending on how she feels afterwards, I'm sure there'll be plenty of stuff to talk about, stuff to share, one way or another.
All the public entrants are going to be hanging out on Saturday.
And I get only marching orders from my end to Sasha, even though Sasha could do whatever she feels like it. On regards to her end, is like, get interviews, get stuff. You got a phone.
My big goal for the weekend
is James but spend time.
I'm getting James Rolfe. It's happening.
But I know you're going to be there with Al. Spend time with Al.
That's the important thing. That's what first night is for. Because him and I have our blood ball. And that's what matters.
I'm not. It's like, even though I would like to see a lot of whatever Sasha gets in regards to it, and she's got first. But she has first crack on a lot of shit. But
I get first crack at that crack.
Right, but a lot of stuff I will probably ask Uncle Tony and repost on my end of things. So that way it's a backup, just in case Blobfest wants to be a total fucking dick on Sasha's end.
Okay.
That way there's always a way.
I'm one, I'm many, I'm legion.
You cannot stop the mafia.
Exactly. So anyways, with that, we say adieu, auf Wiedersehen, buenas noches, and what's another word for good night? I don't know. Just fucking good night.
And I'm a gamer. I'm wearing a bikini. If you want me to
hopefully here soon, you got to donate.
You have to donate.
Fuck
And
you,
remember,
pay
we're
us.
not we're not asking for a handout.
We're just asking for a handful.
So
Well, with that, good night.
Good night.
All right, so we're still recording because we're just chatting. This is after the
Right.
but we'll catch
After
up
show.
soon. I've got a piss like a 2-pecker billy goat, which
Right.
is a new experience for me. So, anyways, peace, chicken grease, and as soon as this completely converts, I'll send it over to you.
No problem. As usual. I'll probably see it in the morning, and I'll at least work on the audio side and post that up in the morning, and the before I have to go to work, and maybe depending on the video side of things, do it and just wander up to
Keep an
the
eye on
library
my
and first.
social. On the offhand somebody gets smart and decides to start doing some blocking. That way, we can all see.
Depends on if you're not seeing reposts. Let me know of who, what, when, where, how, and why.
Oh, I will. I will. I'm keeping an eye. Everything's got alerts and alarms on it. TikTok's
And I'll
going
let
up here shortly.
I'll let you know about the other side of things on my side in regards to that way. If the other ears are listening, they won't know. Meaning they'll know me, they'll know you, but they won't know
The pain
backup.
that's coming.
The penguins.
The penguins. All right, man.
The
Peace
penguins.
out. I will catch you
Peace out.
later, brother.
Later.